Most of us will get rich only by winning the lottery. The chief executives of public companies do it every day. Even as his planes tumbled through the sky, Jeff Dixon was able to count the dollars in salary, bonus, shares and the kind of superannuation boost few ever achieve. In the corporate stratosphere, success and failure are interchangeable. Helen Wellings on how money talks, then walks.
How much does it take an executive to get out of bed in the morning? How many zeros do you really have to attach to fixed pay? And how many bonuses do you need to pay when a company's performance has been less than satisfactory?
Well, Jeff Dixon is one of the most outrageous examples of excessive pay we've seen in Australia.
He's the $12 million a year man, the second highest paid airline executive in the world. And despite Qantas's damaging cutbacks and faltering safety record while he's been chief, CEO Jeff Dixon is about to reap rewards, bailing with what's predicted to be a sky-high payout.
The package is not only regards to the annual salary, but there's share options and superannuation, and we understand he's at $8 million of superannuation tipped in last year alone.
Dave Oliver, National Secretary of the Australian Manufacturing Union, representing Qantas's engineering and maintenance workers.
1,500 jobs will disappear out of this airline between now and Christmas, and whilst this is there, we've got a CEO that's got a wage package of $12 million, up from $6.5 million the previous year, and telling workers they have to exercise wage restraint. Not acceptable.
He shouldn't retire after 8 years in the job being worth $30 or $40 million. He's not that good.
Stephen Mayne, shareholder activist of the Mayne Report, says executive payouts push share prices down even further.
The CEOs just run around and say, look what he's getting over there, I want a piece of that. And the boards have been too weak and they've agreed to the payouts, and the shareholders have just happily kept on agreeing to appointing the boards.
That in light of Qantas's woeful record in recent times. 1 out of 3 Qantas and Jetstar flights last June was late. Even more disturbing, a spate of mid-air emergencies. Just yesterday, 40 passengers and crew injured, 15 seriously, as Qantas Flight 72 from Singapore suddenly lost altitude. The salary gap is widening. 16 years ago, our top CEOs earned 27 times more than the average Australian worker. Now they earn 200 times more.
Our members earn roughly $50,000 per annum. If you break Jeff Dixon's salary package down, it's almost $200,000 a week. So in 1 week, Jeff Dixon earns the equivalent of 4 years' salary of one of our members.
Our rich are getting super rich. Top earner Nicholas Moore, CEO of Macquarie Bank, rakes in $26.8 million a year, more than $3,000 an hour, while he's awake, while he's asleep. Telstra's Sol Trujillo almost doubled his pay to $20 million, even though shareholders voted against it. Shopping centre king Frank Lowy of the Westfield Group enjoys $14.4 million a year. Successful, yes, but what about rewarding failures?
It's our superannuation fund money that is being used to provide a salary to CEOs and executives.
Phil Spathis of the Australian Council of Superannuation Investors.
We are happy to reward for outperformance, but not to reward for mediocre outcomes or at worst failure.
Some of the biggest failures, Andrew Scott, ex-CEO Centro Shopping Centres, wiped out investors when shares plummeted to just 20 cents. His reward, a $3 million golden handshake. Mike Tilley managed a $44 million loss, shares down 60% when he was CEO of Challenger. His parting salary, $10 million.
Unfortunately in Australia there's been just too many examples of huge golden parachute payouts to executives who haven't done very well and have destroyed lots of money for shareholders.
And when the 150-year-old, once mighty Lehman Brothers Investment Bank filed for bankruptcy recently, it became clear the chief executive was doing well. A US Congressional Committee hearing, he'd earned more than $500 million in salary, stock and bonuses.